Greetings and salutations. Welcome back into WMFD Scores and More, brought to you by Spitzer Motors of Mansfield. I'm Zach Smith, and it's coming up on playoff time as we sit in Week 9 right now. One more week of regular season action after tonight, but we still have plenty to talk about in all of our games having some form of postseason activity involved. We start tonight at Heisey Park. The River Valley Vikings and the Galion Tigers, both teams in control your own destiny situations for their playoff spot, though they are inside those top 16s inside of Region 14. Both teams may not be in contention for the conference play, but the postseason is all that matters. So who walks out of Unkrich Stadium a win richer? We go, and we stay inside of Crawford County, out to Bucyrus. The Buckeye Central Bucks have no conference wins yet this season. The only other team in the N10 without one will be on the other side of the field tonight, the Redmen. And the Bucks, the only two teams without a win in the N10. Buckeye Central hasn't beaten Bucyrus inside of Bucyrus since 2016. Can the Redmen keep that streak going? To Hudson Stadium, the third all-time matchup between North Baltimore and Crestline. North Baltimore owns the series 2-0. This will be the first time that they see each other as members of the same conference as Crestline tries to go out on a victory here at home this season. But, as always, we head out to the WMFD Game of the Week as the Shelby Whippets try to upset Ontario and stay alive in the conference crown chase. And my Game of the Year nominee, and it was a dogfight from start to finish. Shelby strikes first. Brayden DeVito, a 73-yard touchdown pass to Isaiah Ramsey, his first touchdown of the day. Isaiah, I don't know how you let this guy get so open. Number 13, a big score, extra point good. 7-0 on a windy night from Ontario. Bogpen Miller, the next drive, the Warriors trying just to find a little bit of momentum themselves. And as he's done all year, number 8 takes it in for 6. A 6-yard touchdown run. 7-all Ontario and Shelby. With 1:10 to go in the first quarter, Skylar Winters. Now, this was a really weird play being physically at this game. Officials didn't rule a touchdown on the field, although Skylar Winters clearly breaks the plane. They do rule the touchdown after that play, but rule in an unsportsmanlike conduct afterwards. The 35-yard extra point up and good. 14-7, Shelby leads. 9:25 to go. 54-yard pass to Brady Bowman. The freshman's first catch is a touchdown as he takes it to the house. A 15-point run by the Shelby Whippets after going for 2. 22-7, they lead over Ontario. Just when you think Ontario's starting to find a little bit of momentum, come back in this game, Miller rolls, trying to find somebody, but he unfortunately finds number 13 in white. Isaiah Ramsey, pick number 1. And it's going to be Shelby football. They would go 3 and out, punt the ball right back to Ontario. Ontario doesn't have momentum. They've got to find something, and Bogpen Miller finds one of his favorite targets. Peyton Dugan, a 46-yard touchdown, 22-14 after the made extra point. Ontario starting to slide back in here after trailing by 15 early. And we head to the 2-minute mark here in the quarter. The next Ontario drive, Bogpen Miller. This kid is so special. After breaking the all-time career passing yards record on the drive, it would come down to this. Rolls right, nothing there. Has to cut all the way back. The long athletic frame of the junior dives for the pylon. Long discussion between the officials, but they do say he broke the plane. 22-21 after the missing extra point. So we head on into the final drive of the first half. 22-21. It was a 37-yard field goal. Made it a 2-point game at halftime. Right out of halftime, Chase Studer on the first drive by Ontario. 31-22. It's a 9-point game. That is the first score and the only score in the third quarter. Ontario, after trailing by 15, leads by 9. But Brayden DeVito and these Whippets don't go quietly. A lot of these fourth quarters go to this. Nick Eister, a 55-yard touchdown. And we go to a minute in the game. We have this play right here.
Touchdown Whippets. It's a one-score game. DeVito takes it, looks to throw. It's thrown to that far side. Casey Lance flipped to Ramsey. He's got the first down. Ramsey for the end zone. Isaiah Ramsey. What a catch. What a run. Ramsey, 39-yard touchdown, Shelby. What a play.
After that 2-point conversion on the play, 37-31, Bogpen Miller able to drive his team down, 4th and goal from the 9, no time left, and Isaiah Ramsey with a massive seal right at the end, his second pick, 2 touchdowns, our player of the game, Shelby, handing Ontario their first loss this season, 37-31, and Ontario now at 8-1, on the year as they head into week 10 next week. What a game, Cade. You joined me on this one, and a roller coaster with the Mansfield Madness.
I mean, what a game that was from start to finish. I mean, we were biting our nails, Zach. It was a phenomenal game. The offenses on both sides were phenomenal. The defenses had their moments as well. There were players who normally don't get involved that got involved. Brady Bowman, to be example, he is a huge one that played a massive part in garnering momentum for Shelby in the first half. Ultimately, Ontario would come back in that second half like you saw in that recap video. I mean, all in all, what a phenomenal game that was, Zach.
At one point, Ontario trailed by 15, and you and I were sitting in that booth going, ooh, this is getting pretty scary. But Bogpen Miller, he does not act like a junior. He doesn't play like a junior. He was a wild card on that field tonight offensively and defensively and played his heart out.
Yeah, in the first quarter, it was looking like he was struggling a bit. The offense was stagnant. He wasn't able to get much to go his way in the running attack and the passing attack. So when things were started, I was a little bit like, is Bogpen Miller going to be able to pull this one off and somehow lead a 15-point comeback and then start to garner some momentum back for the Warriors? Next thing you know, he did exactly that. The running attack and the passing attack started to flow in the second quarter, then into the third quarter, and then into the fourth quarter. Ultimately, it was defensive mishaps that led to Shelby coming out victorious. Bogpen Miller played his heart out.
Ontario is now 8-1, losing their first game this season. They do not control their destiny for this MOAC crown now. They can still have a share of it. That is something that is important to note. Ontario next week on the road at Highland. That's going to be a tough one. A very good running team and a team that you and I saw last week. On the other side, for Shelby, now this Whippets team can control their own destiny. A win against Pleasant on the WMFD Game of the Week at Shelby, and Shelby would at least hold a share of that conference crown. Are you looking forward to next week or what?
I mean, it's going to be a dogfight between these two sides. I mean, Shelby, Ontario, no matter who it's going to be or who they're facing, they've got a lot to play for. Finishing off the regular season strong, especially for an Ontario side that fell today, they've got to keep that confidence high, because no matter what, a loss like they suffered here today, they fought from start to finish, but coming up just that short that they did, that's heartbreaking. A drop in the end zone that ultimately led to the no touchdown being scored by Ontario. They had the opportunities to score. They just weren't able to find it. So having some confidence, building that up next week, and heading into the postseason with a victory in the final regular season contest is going to be important. And the same can be said for Shelby. They've got to come back out, put their confidence to the side, put their ego behind them, and come out and play football like they have all season long. There's a reason why these two teams are the top teams in the conference. It's because they have games like today, and they showcase that, exactly why they're top in the conference.
Both teams now 5-1 in conference play. Shelby with a massive upset on the road against the Ontario Warriors. Cade, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you soon.